Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I'm CC Gamer, bringing you another video. And for today, we're going to be doing a review of Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2. Because the movie just started playing in theaters yesterday, and I myself went to go and see the movie, and I gotta tell you, I am really impressed on how well they used the budget for this movie, and definitely made it way better than the first movie ever was. So first off, I want to remind you guys that this movie is taking place after the events of the first movie. I will probably be spoiling some stuff here. If you guys are planning on seeing it, I would probably suggest you would probably stop watching this just so I don't spoil it for you. But if you're not all that excited to maybe see it for the last day tomorrow, then you can keep watching. But yeah, the opening for this movie, it's a bit similar to what the first movie was, where it's a bit like the drawing type of things, where it does kind of make a little bit of sense, because it's like showing the aftermath of the first movie, where Christopher Robin returns to his hometown, Ashdown, and tells the whole city about Pooh and his friends who are still luring around the 100-acre wood. And the news that he brings of them brings a total panic to the town, and people go out into the 100-acre wood and they hunt for them. And worst of all, Pooh and his friends are not happy with Christopher after what he did, revealing their existence. Because now the people are like burning almost every section of the 100-acre wood to make it so they have nowhere to hide. And worst of all, for Christopher, they're believing him to be a murderer following the events of those girls' deaths that Pooh and Piglet caused. So the people are not really trustworthy with Christopher after that, but he knows the truth, and so do his parents and his girlfriend. But after a couple of hunters came into the 100-acre wood, Pooh agreed that it was time to take the fight to Ashdown and to Christopher, and along the way, he brings along two new of his friends, which are Owl and Tigger. And Piglet himself is part of this movie, but he has a very short role in it. Because if you've seen the clip where Owl is like telling Pooh about how close they are to finding them, you will see Pooh and Piglet are in that. But after that, we just see Piglet getting a shotgun blow up to his head, and that's the last part that we saw of him. But as the story goes along, Christopher finds out that Pooh, Piglet, and the others, the reason why they're considered crossbreeds was because someone abducted children by the time that he was a child, and they used those children to transform them into those crossbreeds. So those are basically children who had the DNA of certain animals, and then they transformed into those animals, which seems a bit awesome and weird at the same time, but that does kind of make sense to the whole crossbreed thing. And after revealing what happened with Pooh and the others, that's when things in Ashdown get very bloody. you see Pooh and Tigger like massacring all of these people at like a DJ party that's like what's a good word for it? Like a hidden subway line. I don't know what those things are called, but it's something like that. But one thing that I liked about the killing in this is that they actually decided to do more creative stuff with the fatalities and brutalities that they do in this movie. It's just so satisfying. And once we get to the end, we see Christopher going up against Pooh, which has that flaming chainsaw that has fire on it, which I think was an awesome design. And right before Pooh was about to, well, getting ahead of myself, after they fight, Pooh found the grave that he was buried in when he was still like a child, and was known to like be killed by the same person who created them. But it's the same place where he dug himself out, and that's when he just went into hiding in the 100-acre woods with his friends. After that, the fighting still continues, but when Christopher's girlfriend is involved, Pooh nearly kills her, but Christopher takes the blow and uses an axe to put it in Pooh's head, with Pooh saying his most famous line, "Oh, bother." So it does make me a bit bummed that Pooh only had that line, and I was hoping that he would speak a little bit more in this, but at least we did see like Owl, Piglet, and Tigger talk, and Tigger was the most impressive. Then once that is all done, we head to a little post-credit scene with Tigger bringing the remains of Pooh and Piglet into their hideout. And it turns out that you can't really kill them. And so the last thing that we heard was Tigger saying, "We'll be back for you, Christopher Robin. And we'll be back." And the last part was seeing a little bit of Piglet's head like regrowing. So it stands to reason that you can't really kill them. And before the movie even started, the director, Reese Waterfield, I can't remember what his name was. Reese Frake Waterfield, the director of both Blood and Honey movies, and Christopher Robin's actor, Scott Chambers. They made a video talking about how much our support to their Winnie the Pooh movies means to them, and also talking about the 3 new movies that they are working on. And gave us more details about them as well. So, for Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare, it was stated that Scott Chambers is the one who's going to be directing that, and he stated that he has the inspiration of like the black phone for Peter Pan. So I've never seen the black phone before, but I do know that it is a scary movie, and if they're taking on that angle for Peter Pan, I could believe that it will be very scary. Then, oh, and they also mentioned that Tinkerbell is going to be in there. And I don't know what the heck she'll be looking like in this. But the story for the movie would be that they said was like taking children and then bringing them to Neverland. So they could probably just have nothing but nightmares. Next up, they talked about the Pinocchio movie that they're making, Pinocchio Unstrung. And they did say that they're taking on the person who created Chucky to make the puppeteer for Pinocchio in this. So for those of you who love Chucky, I could probably guarantee that you would probably love this Pinocchio movie, but I don't know. And then they also showed us that picture of the first art design for Pinocchio, and also telling them that his nose is going to be like telescopic, and he's going to be using his nose to like kill people. And they did state that Pinocchio will really be violent in this, because they stated that he's going to skin someone and then wear their skin to be like a real boy, which seems so disgusting. And if I do go see that movie, I'm definitely closing my eyes for that, because that's just disgusting. Then they talked about the movie that they've been filming for the past month now, Bambi the Reckoning, and showed us our first look at Bambi the Reckoning, showing like 3 hunters who are like practicing shooting. And then we actually get a small glimpse of what Bambi will look like, and actually seeing him like use his horns to flip a car and roaring like a bear. So after that first look, I could guarantee I would probably go see that movie as well, but I like actually need to see an actual trailer, not just a first look, and see if the design is still good enough. But after they showed that first look of Bambi, they talked about the movie that they are really excited about making, seeing how both Reese and Scott like the adventure movies. They realized that they've never seen like a horror Avengers movie, which led them to making this movie, Poohniverse, Monsters Assemble, which when I heard the news about this, I was both excited and confused and worried, because it just seems like they're probably going a bit too far with all this, but it does kind of make me excited. So for this movie, Poohniverse, weird name when you say it out loud, in my opinion, it'll have all 4 characters, Pooh, Peter Pan, Bambi, and Pinocchio, all gathering up and attacking their prejudice. And in that movie, they will also be introducing some new people. They will be bringing Rabbit, the Mad Hatter, and Sleeping Beauty, along with a couple of other characters who haven't been announced yet. And also, with the notice of Rabbit, they did also say after the talk about Poohniverse, they did say that they're probably planning on making a 3rd Blood and Honey movie. And in that movie, they will bring Rabbit and Roo into that movie. Rabbit, we all know, has been in the opening for the first movie. And I'm Rue will most likely be like Tigger, like a total surprise. And I can't wait to see what like a horror kangaroo could look like. But the director also stated that he also wants to introduce the heffalumps and woozles into the movie, which I think could be an awesome idea, seeing how the heffalumps play like a huge role in their world. That would definitely be a good angle to go to. But all in all, that's my talk about Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2. And you're going to be surprised about this. When I saw the score for Rotten Tomatoes, like for opening night, it was already at 100%, which blew my mind, because if you like recall from like the first movie, the movie just got like 3% on Rotten Tomatoes, which stated that it was awful. But when I saw that, I was surprised, which means this movie definitely did way better than the first movie. And if we look at it right now for the second day, it should be, let's see, there we go. So yeah, I think this morning it was like at 80%, but right now it's sitting at 63, which still makes it good. And hopefully it doesn't go super low. It doesn't go lower after the last night. But if this movie is good, then that definitely means that the companies who are making these movies will have really good success with the upcoming movies. But all in all, that's all I have for you guys here today. Comment down below what you thought of all of this news about the Pooniverse or the Twisted Childhood universe. And comment down below which movie you are most anticipated to see from this movie production. And I will see you guys next time. See ya. And good night.